Greetings, lovely people. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you coming on board. It's just amazing anytime you pop up here. Choosing me over thousands of platforms out here on YouTube. That's just amazing. That's just too much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming on board. Today, we talk about every Africa country, but today we are talking about Burkina Faso. The situation in Burkina Faso, what is it like? What is going on? Is Burkina Faso moving forward or backwards? Looking at the situation under the democratic governance and the military governance, what are the changes? Is the nation going backwards or moving forward? We need to track the progress to see where the nation is standing. Since Captain Ibrahim Traoré took over, what are the development? What are the things going on? Is things stagnant? Is things more worse under this leadership than the former? We need to find out, because some media houses have decided to project the young man as nothing is going on. Things have become so worse under his leadership. But you see, we are in the modern world where every information is at the tip of our hands, so nobody can fool us and then mislead us this time. So lovely people, join me for us to have a comprehensive analysis of economic, industrial, agriculture and legal changes under Captain Ibrahim Traoré. What Burkina Faso look like under the democratic governance and versus the military leadership. This is something you won't see on these media houses. Burkina Faso, when you look at Burkina Faso, it has experienced significant political and governance shift over the past few years, most notably with the military revolution. They call it coup d'etat, we call it revolution, led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré in December 2022. Prior to the coup, as you call it, but we call it revolution, Burkina Faso had democratic governance system. Under the democratic governance system, Burkina Faso was facing numerous challenges, including security threat, economic stagnation, and political instability. Since Captain Ibrahim Traoré took over, the truth is that there have been notable transformations in various sectors. We are talking about various sectors of governance and development in the country. So let's use detailed comparison and explore the changes in Burkina Faso's economic performance, industrialization, agriculture, job creation, legal reforms, and other crucial areas under both democratic governance and military rule. Let's dive into it, lovely people. Before we go, hit the like button for me. That's the support I need from you. Be part of the family. Hit the subscribe button. Respect. Now, before the military takeover in 2022, Burkina Faso had experienced roughly 7 years of democratic governance following the fall of the betrayer Blaise Compaoré in October 2014. History will record Blaise Compaoré as the biggest traitor in the history of Africa and the world. So we are going to have 6 comparisons. Number 1, economic performance under the democratic governance. Under the democratic governance, Burkina Faso was struggling with economic growth. And most of the time, the government often blamed the stagnant economy on the security challenges that the nation is facing in regards to the terror groups. In addition to that, the economy was primarily a struggle with limited diversification into sectors such as manufacturing or high-tech industry and more. When you look at the GDP growth under the democratic governance, in 2022, the economy grew with GDP of 1.8%, and most of these were impacted or based on gold export, raw, agricultural products like cotton, raw, exported, and aid flow from international donors. So the GDP growth under the democratic governance in 2022, before Captain Ibrahim Traoré took over, was 1.8%. And the challenges on board that time was limited infrastructure, low industrial output, and inefficient job creation. Now, after Captain Ibrahim Traoré took over, what happened? When he assumed power, the military government focused more on revitalizing the economy by reducing dependency on foreign aid and building domestic resilience. The government, or the military government of Burkina Faso, took a more active role in industrializing and diversifying the economy. By 2023, lovely people, the country had achieved a 3.2% growth in GDP. That's just in the space of 1 year. He took over 2022, and in 2023, they have GDP growth of 3.2%. The economy miraculously shows sign of recovery despite ongoing security challenges, and projection for 2024 estimated a further growth rate of 3.7% to 5.5%, indicating a more stable and dynamic economy under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré. So in 2023, you have 3.2% GDP growth. 2024, it moved from 3.7 to 5.5%. Let's clap for the young man. Congratulations. Now, what contributed to this growth? It was investment in local processing industries such as gold refinery, agriculture, and textile manufacturing. And this was happening under the challenges of security threat, external pressure from international organizations, and the military regimes need to balance internal stability with economic growth. This guy is a hero, guys. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Under the democratic governance, Burkina Faso had limited progress in industrialization. The country was heavily reliant on its raw material exports such as gold and cotton, with little to no significant value-added industrial activity. For us not to be biased, we must acknowledge that there were some efforts to develop the mining sector by the former government, which is the democratic governance, but the overall industrial base remained underdeveloped. So the industrial output was primarily raw materials, no value added. Under democratic governance, the government was doing some efforts, 419 efforts to attract in foreign investors, primarily in the mining sector. But they were facing challenges because of the security situation, which left them with no choice than to deal with France and the rest of the West. The East can come in. Nobody else can come and benefit in Burkina Faso apart from the West. So it was a system created to keep their presence there, scaring everybody away. The place was declared a danger zone. So everybody is afraid to go in there and deal with Burkina Faso. Now, with the rise of the military leadership under Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the government has focused on developing the key industries such as a gold refinery, cotton processing, and textile manufacturing. Notably, the government initiated the construction of Burkina Faso's first gold refinery in November 2023. The refinery is now allowing Burkina Faso to process its gold locally, and this is boosting the economy, and it has created significant employment opportunity to the people of Burkina Faso. What were the key initiatives? The construction of the first gold refinery, everything constructed by the Burkinabe people, homegrown mechanism, creativity. Another one is national support for textile industries and the creation of domestic value-added products. This resulted into employment creation. The gold refinery project alone, it has created hundreds of direct jobs and 5,000 plus indirect jobs in Burkina Faso, while the textile initiative is boosting local production and it has provided employment opportunity in cotton growing regions in Burkina Faso. Even today, beautiful thing is that Burkina Faso can boast of electric vehicle, detergent factory, tire factory, value addition industry, creativity. Burkina Faso can boast of factories. They can count it today. I don't know what papers our democratic leaders have been signing, which limit the creation of factories in our regions and in our countries. I don't know. But let's move forward. Number 3 is agricultural development under democratic governance and the military governance. The truth is, under the democratic governance, agriculture was the backbone of Burkina Faso's economy, with cotton, maize, sorghum, and millet being the main crops of Burkina Faso. However, agricultural productivity was hindered by the lack of modern farming techniques, poor infrastructure, and inadequate irrigation. Under this system of governance, the country faced recurrent drought and low mechanization, which significantly impacted harvest and overall agricultural output of the country. The country's reliance on subsistence farming limited its ability to scale up production. So when you look at the agriculture productivity, you have low mechanization, reliance on traditional farming methods, and low value crops. The democratic governance at that time was trying to provide some 419 assistance to the people, going to give the farmers some glove and stuff and all that to show support, but without a comprehensive national agricultural transformation plan like what Ibrahim Traoré is doing. Now, since the military took over, the government of Captain Ibrahim Traoré has prioritized modernizing agriculture and increasing food security. This is the first priority in Burkina Faso. In 2023, the Traoré-led government distributed 400 plus tractors, 200 plus tillers, almost 1,000 motor pumps, almost 1,000 motorcycles to local farmers to increase production capacity in the country, additionally reducing reliance on manual labor and improving irrigation. The government initiated agriculture projects, the construction of tomato processing plants in Bobo Dioulasso and Yako. These projects are to reduce post-harvest losses and create thousands of jobs to the Burkinabe people. Other key projects step in the expansion of wheat production with the aim to increase local production and reduce dependency on imported wheat. Currently, a 125-hectare wheat project is already underway. Number 4, let's look at job creation under the democratic governance versus the military governance. Under the democratic governance, just like every other African countries, Ghana, Nigeria, and co, South Africa, Sierra Leone, all of us, Burkina Faso was facing a high unemployment rate, particularly among the youth. The informal sector dominated employment, with many young people relying on low-wage jobs, or they were migrating to other neighboring countries. If you don't see them in Nigeria or other countries, they are running on the sea, crossing the ocean for survival. The lack of industrial development and the heavy reliance on raw material export limited job creation in Burkina Faso, especially in value-added industry. So the employment rate was high among the youth. The country was practically heavily reliant on agriculture with limited growth in the industrial and services sectors. When Captain Ibrahim Traoré took over, job creation has been a key focus of Ibrahim Traoré's government. The emphasis has been on industrial and agricultural projects to create direct and indirect employment to the youth and the people of Burkina Faso. The construction of the first gold refinery is a significant job generator in the country, together with the detergent factories and mechanization of agriculture and a whole lot more, to create direct and indirect job in the mining sector, which is gold refinery, agriculture, tomato processing, and textile. The expansion of the manufacturing and agriculture sectors has led to more diversified employment in Burkina Faso under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré. You are not going to see all these things on the Western media. No. Number 5, let's look at the legal and justice reform under the democratic governance versus the military governance. Under the democratic governance, Burkina Faso maintained a legal system that was heavily influenced by its colonial history. The judiciary followed French origin procedures. The system was often perceived just as other African nations, including Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, and all of us, as inefficient and sometimes corrupt. So when you look at the judiciary, we are talking about French-style legal procedures and colonial-era judicial attire. When you look at the legal reforms, there was limited effort to overhaul the judicial system or adapt it to local context. But under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, there have been notable reforms in the judicial sector, particularly in the symbolism of legal attire. In November 2024, Burkina Faso's judiciary transitioned from wearing French origin black robes to traditional Burkinabe attire made from local cotton. It is called Faso d'Anfani, a move and a statement of national pride and a rejection of colonial influence. They prefer to rather promote national identity. Now let's talk about the security issue in there, which these media houses often loud a lot. This is where their news is. It's not about the development. Their news is centered around this group that are disturbing the Sahel. Under the democratic governance, it was joint cooperation between the government and France to keep this going on. Burkina Faso was struggling with a growing security crisis due to this group. The government of Burkina Faso has struggled to maintain control over a vast part of the country. Majority of the territory was under the leadership of these rebels, leading to widespread displacement and loss of life. Efforts to combat these people were largely ineffective, and the security forces of Burkina Faso were often overstretched and under-resourced. The resources for them to combat, they go to the battle. Ibrahim Traoré said they go to the battlefield and realize that the terrorists are holding and handling much more greater weapon than them. So the government together with the military was having loss of control in the northern and eastern region of the country. When Captain Ibrahim Traoré took over, it has become homeland or death. La patrie ou la mort. It's either we reclaim the land or we die. If they don't surrender, they'll disappear. That was the move. Captain Ibrahim Traoré has prioritized the fight against insurgency in the region much more effectively. Captain Ibrahim Traoré initiated greater mobilization of national resources to fight insurgency. And at the end of the day, they have been able to reclaim majority of the land which were under the control of these terrorists. These houses will not tell you that. So the transition from democratic governance to military rule under Captain Ibrahim Traoré, lovely people, it has brought about significant changes in Burkina Faso's approach to governance and national development. In the face of the ongoing challenges, particularly in security and governance, the military regime has implemented several reforms, all the way from agriculture, industry, legal system, and job creation, with a focus on self-reliance, reducing foreign dependence. They pick up national pride, reclaiming their identity and dignity. The Traoré administration is positioning itself to reshape Burkina Faso's future. People who are doubting it, that these things are happening in Burkina Faso, some people have gone there, including Odemaya, the great Odemaya, went there to find out. And yes, Odemaya have to confirm to us that yes, you heard the news, it's true. Burkina Faso is on the right path. I'm going to be loading part 2 of this. Respect.